Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming you guys with a Pro Dota 2 commentary, and today I'm going to bring you a game from the losers bracket, round number 4 between M5 and Ehome. I'm joined by fellow DC commentator, his name is Doc. Let's get into the games.
Hey everyone, this is Doc, and yes, this is from the losers bracket. M5 has been bumped down to losers bracket very early into the tournament, and they've been finding their way up. And eHome has just been bumped down as well, and now they're going to be duking it out in this epic game where one person is going to continue advancing the losers bracket, and the other one is going to get eliminated, but still gets to walk home with $35,000. So the stakes are very high in this game. So right off the bat, we see an anti-mage ban right here and a Night Stalker ban from eHome. So what do you say? What do you say about that?
Yeah, Night Stalker has been probably the most popularly picked or banned hero in the tournament, or one of them at least, because there's only 46 heroes in the pool. Night Stalker is really good against half of them, which is intelligence. And because he has the fear of the darkness, he's naturally tanky, he gets to run into every single fight and disrupt the team fight, disrupt everyone's positioning as well. Not only that, he's really good against some of the most popular picked hero in the pool, such as Weaver, such as Anti-Mage. That fear, extremely good against it. The nuking, again, it's very high. And really, he runs in, and if there's no Slardar in the game, Slardar, of course, with the amplified damage, he could basically tank the entire team with ease. So that's why most teams don't like to play against that hero, so they just get rid of it immediately.
Yeah, also I think it's also like one of those more European type of heroes that's getting picked back in Dota 1, and I
Oh,
think
definitely,
eHome
yeah.
knows that M5 would be one of the prime examples of liking to pick that hero. So getting rid of that ban right off the bat would definitely help them in this case. And they're actually taking quite a bit of time going through the bans and picks. Usually, like you say, it just flies during the first few picks because you only have a few heroes to choose from, but people are very hesitant in this case, and now we're finally seeing some more bans and picks. We have the Tidehunter being banned on M5 and a Chen being banned on eHome. So eHome banning a lot of these respec bans right now. It's very interesting to see uh, what they have in stock for them.
To make sure we're still synced up, I'm at 224, 25, 26, 27, because I am seeing these picks flying by. I don't know what you're looking at. Lich being first picked up, and then a Slardar, an Ancient Apparition. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have a Weaver and a Shaker. Lich is fourth, a very strong laning hero for most case, and we've been seeing a lot of Lich Slardar dueling mid, especially from the European team. So let's see if that's what we're seeing here as well. Ancient Apparition is just a kind of a cheesy hero. We do see the Venomancer. No, excuse me. I always get freaking confused between Venomancer and Sand King. I was gonna say. We see the eHome team picking up the Venomancer because you don't want the enemy team to get both AA and Venomancer, because the dual sick ultimate can be a very sick combo together. But never mind that, they pick up the Sand King, give himself a lot more AoE power. It's just that I think Sand King is quite a weak pick against Slardar. Slardar very, all of his spells are very aptable in terms of taking down the Sand King, amplified damage for that reveal, and also just the Sun and the Bash. The Sand King naturally has low armor also, so I'm not too sure what that pick is all about. Any thoughts on it so far?
Yeah, well, so far it's just I've seen a number of games where you see the Sand King mash up against a Slaughter for some reason. It's probably just a coincidence, but it also gives a little bit of bad laning for the Sand King, because usually you'll have the Sand King soloing bottom against a tri-lane, which is going to have involve the Slaughter in this case. With his tri-lane and supports, so the Sand King is not gonna have a fun time. I don't know why they usually do that, but maybe they'll change the lanes up for once, because you usually see in this tournament, you see like it's usually just solo versus tri lanes. We haven't seen that much of tri lane versus tri lanes. At least that's just from my observation. But for looking at the set or Scourge's picks right now, the Earthshaker and the Sand King, that's gonna give a lot of good ultimates in a team fight. But they definitely need the Blankjacker to be fully effective.
Yeah, aside from tri lanes, we've been seeing a lot of dual lanes as well, and also basically solo lanes with a lot of roam. So it's really going to be difficult to predict what M5 or Ehome is going to be laning. I did talk about Lich the Slaughter as a dual lane, but we might be able to see the AA and the Slaughter as a dual lane as well, because of that. Ice Vortex has a decent slow, and that allows the Slaughter to sprint in and get a crush. And once you do get the crush off, that Kofi, yeah, that Kofi is gonna hit for sure, and that's gonna stun. So that's a lot of stun time, a lot of damage amplification through the Ice Vortex, and probably with the possibility Bash, you could get a very easy kill against solo heroes. So Ehome should be very wary of that. They do have Shaker, which is a very strong defensive hero in that nature. Once he comes off on the side and get a Fisher, that is gonna stop most of the run and gun attempt of the Sentinel. I do like also Shaker as a pick somewhat against the Slaughter, because Slaughter in a very late game situation might go for a BKB, or he might just be sprinting in and try to get a couple kills. If you have good enough Shaker control with the Fisher, you could make the Slaughter run around that Fisher crevice, and that's going to make him either lose BKB durations or lose a lot of time in regards. So. And maybe that's why we see the Storm Spirit being picked up as one hero that could really easily bypass the crevice and isolate this Scourge heroes. So far, I'm liking the M5's picks. They have very strong concentrated DPS through the Nova, through the Chain Frost, and of course the AAO. And they also have very strong disables as well. So let's see how Ehome's going to respond here.
Yeah, and also one of the things I think that's really good for Sand King and Earthshaker as a combo is that in a team fight you get the Sand King to impale in and start channeling that ult, and you have the Earthshaker to do a bit of a follow-up stun to ensure that nobody, like absolutely nobody, disables the Sand King in that process. So I said already that they'll probably need their Blade Daggers in this case. To be fully effective, but they can be just as effective without the Blade Dagger, which I would assume that it's going to take quite a bit for at least the Earthshaker to get in this case. We see a Vengeful Spirit being picked here, and to be honest though, I don't think that's a very good pick against the M5's lineup at the moment, because especially when you have a Storm Spirit on the other team, that Storm Spirit is just going to jump in there and focus down most likely the Adventure Spirit right off the bat. And with the follow-ups of AA's ult and the Lich's Chain Frost, that Adventure Spirit is going to have a very bad day.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a couple of reasons for Ehome picking up the Vengeful Spirit. For one is that I mean, once the BKB on the Storm zips in, there's little to nothing that you can do, especially when you don't have the highest physical DPS. Weaver could do okay, but he's not the best. You can pick up a Beastmaster to try to roar the Storm when he's in BKB form, but that just gives you too many melee heroes to work with, and that makes also a team fight very awkward. You're going to clump up very hard. So I'm guessing the swap is kind of a defensive measure against the BKB Storm to either swap whoever he's targeting out or swap the Storm himself. I also like the Venge for the fact that you could get Swarm and then also Tear, so that's a lot of minus armor to go through. And if you look at the Sentinel lineup, they don't have too much armor to work with. Of course, they do have the Frost armor, that's going to help out a little bit, but if you look at the Storm, the AA, the CM, they're very squishy heroes. If you get like minus 6 or 7 armor, that is going to have Weaver to have an extremely easy time in terms of going in and picking all the supports off. And finally, the Venge gives them the high ground advantage, or whatever. When they try to go the high ground, the Venge is going to be crucial for getting that swap. If they could isolate an AA or a Slaughter and then just kill him very easily, that grants the Scourge team into easy access onto the Sentinel high ground and make team fights like 4v5 is basically the regular Venge thing to do. So that's pretty good. And we do see Tinker being picked. Now, if you guys are not really familiar with Ehome Gigabyte X is probably the best Tinker player in the world. We're going to see him doing that this game. But again, it comes down to laning. You don't know if he's going to be soloing mid against, let's say, Lich or AA or anything like that. Or more likely, he might be soloing against a dual lane, which is going to be extremely difficult for X.
Yeah, now that the game or all the picks have been done, do you mind if you just do a in-game time check, like check the time going on for the in-game, like it's counting downwards right now, right?
In-game
so
it is right 1 minute, 59, 58, 57.
Oh my, you're like 50, you're at like 1 minute and 50 something and counting downwards?
No. 48 seconds, 47, 46, 045, 044.
Keep going. I'm getting there.
Okay, I'll talk about the picks and bans, or talk about the line matchup a little bit. 35, 36, 35, 34, 33. Yeah, I do like the Tinker for the fact that it's a laser and it's a for sure 2 second stun or 2 second miss, and that is kind of crucial against the Slaughter. But what I don't like about the Tinker is he's a very slow hero, and if you look at the Sentinel and Light, they have a whole bunch of slows: the Nova, the Freeze Bite, of course the Nova from the Lich as well, the stun, the AA Vortex, and Tinker as a very slow moving hero, he's gonna have a tough time in terms of getting out a killing combo. So are you synced up? I'm at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doc, you okay there?
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good now. Yeah,
Okay.
it just seems as if at the beginning there, during the pick phase, the video's a bit screwed up on my side. We did this like I had the same problem like before this recording
Okay,
happened.
I
And I
think
don't
the
know why
reason
it
I think
screwed
the
it up.
reason is because I'm watching the Chinese commentary. You might be watching another, either the no commentary version of this video or the English commentary of the video. So maybe
I'm watching the no commentary one.
okay, that
How
must
come
be.
you're watching the Chinese one anyway?
I am watching the Chinese one. The reason being, so I don't like the computer, because they don't really stay at a certain hero long enough. The computer of course don't check items. Some of the commentators, they click on an item and see like, oh, this is a butterfly, so it gives me more time to react and things like that. Yeah, the
Oh.
Chinese commentators, they're human, they'll miss kills, but I'd rather see things like that than lack of item analysis and everything. But no big deal. We do see the Tinker, and as we guess, it is a AA and the Slaughter mid, and that Tinker is going to have such a hard time. The Chinese commentators are looking at the bot lane right now. Now back to the mid lane and back to the top. But we're looking at different things, right? So I say that's good and bad because you can see some of the stuff that I'm missing.
Yeah, but on this side right now, I'm only looking at the bottom right now. This is the dual lane of Weaver and Earthshaker right now. And now jumping to the top lane, we have the Sand King soloing against the Lich. They knew that the Lich is going to be soloing top, so that's why they put the Sand King there instead of putting him at the bottom lane. Which now it's going to be fairly good because the Weaver can get some good CS and be able to survive this duel lane, which surprisingly is the Storm Spirit and the CM in this case. They actually put the Slaughter at mid with AA to babysit him, and I think that's mainly because they think that the Storm Spirit is going to get out laned by the Tinker. So putting Slaughter at mid is gonna, not gonna get that much outlaned, hopefully, because they do have the AA to babysit as well.
And it looks like Venge is going to get the 2-minute rune. She's going to find a region. Who's going to pick it up? Venge does pick it up before the Ancient Operation. I actually find M5's laning very, very smart. They know that X is a very strong solo mid player. Gets a lot of last hits, and more importantly, gets a lot of denies as well. But when you put that dual lane mid, that X is not going to perform as well, and when you delay that BOT for that long, the Tinker's not going to be that effective. And it looks like we do have the Venge Story on the mini map. You can see that she's running around trying to get someone on the top lane, but I think she's seen right now. There's a ward on the top river, so she's got to be extremely, extremely careful. Also looking at the bot lane here, I also like M5's lanes here because they do have dual range against a Weaver. Weaver has like what, 400 range, whereas 480 is on the Storm Spirit and also 600 on the CM. So I think they're outlaning PLT right here. As you can see, he only got like 4 or 5 creep kills. Meanwhile, the Storm Spirit's got a lot more to work with. Yeah, 5 creep kills, and then compared to Storm at 13. So smart lanings, and now we see the Ice Vortex going to mid lane here. We're gonna see a Slithering Crush. No mana for the Slithering Crush. There's a bash on him. Here comes a Shaker getting off a Fisher, and that's gonna be good enough to slow him down. So very good, very well done by Ehome rotating the support player. But you could definitely see the dual lane mid being extremely effective against this Tinker.
Yeah, and I think the Earthshaker was definitely doing a very good job roaming around and ensuring the survival of the Tinker there, or else that would have been a very, very tragic day for X there to get a complete outlane here. As we see, oh, maybe not, our Slaughter had a chance to do a Slithering Crusher, but I didn't think they would have been able to take him out there. Now looking back at bottom, the Weaver is going to be farming solo against the Storm Spirit and the CM right now. The Weaver should be okay right now, but he's still a little bit short in terms of getting his Ring of Health, which is going to ensure his complete survivability at bottom. But he's still a little short right now, so hopefully he'll get that within the next minute or two.
Meanwhile, as we hit the 4-minute mark, we are going to see a couple supports fighting for a rune, and it's going to spawn top. And looks like invisibility is being picked up by Ancient Apparition. I don't think the Scourge knows. Yeah, Tinker does not know at the moment, but he should be okay. He's very close to the tower. It's going to be a very bad angle for the Sentinel team to come in and get a gank. So Tinker is still doing okay right now. Still not getting the most respectable last hit. Now we see the Venge again on the minimap running past the wards, and now the Sentinel team is reacting. He's trying to get the Lich, but I think he's completely out of position right now. Lich also knows the teammates are coming. There's a Crush coming in, and there's that cold feet as well. So very well done. Good recognition by M5, and then taking full advantage of that. And let's try to... I'm going to signal a pause at 440. 440. Okay, let's pause right here.
All right.
I'm pausing. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, sorry about that technical difficulty. We are back, and now we're watching the same commentary, and that shouldn't be too confusing, so sorry about that. Looking at bot lane here, Shaker, again, doing strong roam play, going back to the mid lane to offer... He's being at the right place at the right time, and because of that, the Storm, you can see, is at 22 creep kills, outlaning the Weaver by a lot. So I really like M5's lane, despite of good roam by the Scourge, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, that kill there by that roaming by the Adventurous Spirit was definitely a big mistake, because they were walking under wards. As you see, CM coming in, that was a Frostbite, and that was a Cold Feet as well, but unfortunately there was no considering Crush. So now Earthshaker is going to be there to save the day anyways, but now just a bit more farming going on. And to be honest though, now that I switched to Chinese replay, I'm really not liking this. As we see, there's going to be a gank attempt on this Storm Spirit is trying to... Oh, never mind. The Weaver and the what's the other hero? The Vengeful Spirit is going to be backed out.
Yeah, now that with the CM actually leaving the lane, now we can see Scourge trying to take some advantage of it. CM coming back in the mid lane. I think Slaughter definitely made a little mistake on that kill attempt on mid. He used some mana for sprint and did not have enough for a crush, but we did have the Shaker TPing in anyways. Looks like the Shaker is going to be going for an attempt on the bot lane. M5 God is going to be in trouble. There's a Fissure. There's a couple of magic missile going in. Lamb is going to be giving out one more hit, and he's going to get the kill there. Crystal Maiden doing a very good job. Trading a Storm for Weaver. Okay trade, but considering that the Weaver got the gold and EXP, I guess that's an okay trade for Ehome for that regard.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we saw that team battle. That was a little bit poorly executed, because the Earthshaker actually blocked off the Weaver with that Fissure. So the Weaver could have done it was like a drive-by shooting, if you something like that, if you get it. It's basically oh wow! Was that an ulti from the Chrysalis?
That was a missed ulti from the Chrysalis. Yes.
Oh my god, that is terrible. But back to what I was saying there, the Fissure actually blocked out the Weaver, so the Weaver had to stay near the Fissure to get a few hits on, instead of doing the drive-by, just go through the tower and hit the Storm Spirit, and then just continue running from the other side. But because he had to stop and hit the Storm Spirit, he took a few more hits from the tower, and that's why he died. So if the Earthshaker didn't completely block off the path, it would have been much better in that case for the Weaver survival.
Yeah, it doesn't make too much of the big deal, as we see, again, both the supports coming back in the lane. And now that the Weaver has a Ring of Health on his belt, I think he's going to be okay. But the Storm Spirit is hitting 6 soon, so with any dust gank coming in from his teammates, they can, in theory, get a very easy kill. Let's do another quick creep check. I think I saw 23 on Slaughter. A little bit of engagement going in the mid lane. Slaughter still farming extremely well. You can see the dueling for M5 working really, really perfectly. I haven't gotten the chance to see X Tinker's farm, but I reckon it's quite low.
Yeah, unfortunately I did not see the creep check there, so I couldn't really follow up too much on that. But what did you check on the Tinker's gold again? Oh, never mind. I see it now. Okay. So sorry, what were we talking about again? Sorry, I had a major blue screen. So
you're talking about how poor the Tinker was, and to talk about how poor he is, he's only got boots, bottle, Mantle's intelligence, so he doesn't have any working towards anything. He's got no gold. Looking at the top lane here, Sand King might be trying to get something done. His ultimate is not on either. Trying to do a little bit of bait with the Vengeful Spirit. And here comes an invisible Ancient Apparition with the Lich, a Ice Vortex, and a Kofi. They could definitely get a kill against the Vengeful Spirit. And looks like this might be a successful bait, but they're gonna lose the Vengeful Spirit. Here's the Ice Vortex. Here's the Kofi and the Nova and the Chain Frost. Wow, a lot of investment for that one kill on the Vengeful Spirit, but I suppose that's worth it.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of overkill though, but I guess they didn't want any room for the Sand King to come out, which I think could have actually stopped them from uh, um, does get a good burrow strike on. But yeah, they just did a quick in. As we see a gank on the that was the who was that?
That was the
Oh, that was the
Tinker.
Tinker. Yeah, that
Yep.
was the Tinker. But I think the Stormster was there as well. As now we see the follow up right now. The Scan King, I think, just missed his burrow strike right there. So that was a bit unfortunate. Turn of events, and that's gonna be it for this team battle. Just losing the Tinker like that, oh my god, that's yeah, that's gonna definitely delay. As we see a burrow strike, is there gonna be any more follow up? No fissure was not ready yet, and there was no stun from the Vengeful Spirit. So Slaughter is gonna still have a fairly nice day. He has boots and he has like 3 cells or were those clarities? I don't know, but yeah, he should be doing fairly well right now in the mid lane.
Yeah, and looking at the bot lane here, we do see Lamb still doing an okay job. He's got 800 gold in the bank, so I think he's going to go for Hood first and then pick out Vitality Booster. Oh, creep check, creep check. We got 29 on the Weaver, 20 on the Tinker, which is very low, by the way. God's got 41, and then 32 on the 8 on Slardar, whose name is AA, and also 31 on the Lich. So farm definitely in the favor of Sentinel, and I mean, this Sand King's been missing Burrow Strike after Burrow Strike, and it's giving the Scourge team a lot of room, giving the Sentinel team a lot of room to get those ganks off. Looks like a huge engagement on the bot lane, and we have Ancient Aberration picking up a dominating streak against the Weaver, and that definitely is going to slow down Ehome's farm as well. 6-1 in favor of M5, and Scourge, by the way, needs inventory. If you look at their lineup, they got no damage. Of course, the Epic Epicenter can do a little bit of damage as we see the Venge going. Oh, is it going to be okay? We have a good Fissure block. Looks like the Santa is going to pick up the kill. Very good right-click damage with that amp damage from the Slaughter. But I was saying earlier, Scourge don't have that much damage. Sure, they have an epicenter, but that's pretty much it. If the Tinker doesn't get to a BOT Hex, if the Weaver doesn't get into like the Vanguard Radiance, they are going to be in huge trouble once this mid game comes. And these kills against them right now is definitely not helping out with their farm.
Yeah, because the Weaver definitely needs items to, like I said in many of my commentaries, that Weaver is considered a mid game, not a carry, and the only reason he carries it is if he's more stacked than the other team. And so right now, his competition is a starter, and so the Weaver definitely needs at least one tier 3 or tier 4 item to be able to out DPS the starter in this case. And right now it's definitely not helping his farm. He's most likely do you think he'll be going for Radiance, or do you think he'll get his Vanguard first? Like you mentioned that, but do you think it'll be like better in a scenario to actually get the the Radiance first?
No, I definitely think he's gonna go Hood and then Vitality Booster and then back into Radiance, and I think that's probably the best thing to do, because if you look at the Sentinel lineup, whole bunch of nukes, like insane amount of nukes, and you just want to survive long enough to time lapse, and that just sends a message to M5. Hey, if you're gonna drop all your nukes at me, I'm gonna just time lapse it away. So don't focus me. That's kind of the idea of all those defensive items, and I think that's what he's going for. But even that, like he doesn't have the farm to get that. Of course, the Hood plus a Vitality Booster is around 3k go, but I don't think he's even near that mark right now. Yeah, he's only got 500 gold in the bank. He's trying to pick up boots as well. A little bit more engagement going in the top lane. It looks like there's going to be a tower push of some sort. I think the Sentinel is going to lose one tower. Is it going to be denied though? No, it looks like we do have Sand King pick it up, and that is going to help. We do have a Chain Frost coming back in. Chain Frost is going to be bouncing around. Looks like Chain Frost actually picked off the Shaker. Sand King coming with the ult, but I don't think he get a kill. He's out of mana, so no more Burrow Strike. Lich knows this as well, so he drops a Nova and he's going to force the Scourge back. So even though the Scourge did pick up a tower, they lose another hero or two in that exchange. So M5 doing an excellent job so far in the game.
Yeah, and Ehome is they're definitely a bit behind, and you can see, like you said before, they need these items, and they have the Tinker, they have the Tinker getting the BOT, the Earthshaker, and the Chrysalis needing the Blink Daggers. So it's a lot of things to farm, and right now they're getting highly pressured. They're losing out in like every single lane, so it's like it doesn't help their farm a single bit. But fortunately though, they haven't lost a single tower yet, so they're not losing too much of map control in this case.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Sentinel lineup, as we see a little bit of engagement, there's a Swarm and an ultimate to get him out of the freeze bite range, and now we see Dread might be in trouble. They do pick up the Crystal Maiden, but Crystal Maiden goes down. Trading Weaver for CM is always a good trade. Slaughter comes back in. Can he get a crush, though? He's working on 820. 820 might be in trouble. Good Burrow Strike come in, and now Shaker can turn around, and here comes the FCB, the Vengeful Spirit as well. We're going to see a Fissure block for sure. Where's the Fissure block? Fissure actually hits, but he blocks the Slaughter, so that's still good enough. Suns to here, and now we see the Slaughter going down. Can the Scourge team give chase though? I think that's going to be the end of it. No, Tinker comes around. Does he have any more stun? Burrow Strike is going to be off cooldown very soon. And now we see Lich very slow hero. He's going to be... Oh, Burrow Strike. Another one that's missing. Man, this is quite disappointing as we see the Storm zips in. Another good Fisher block. And I think this... Oh no. A couple more hits from the Sentinel here. It picks him off. So I think this Sand King has been missing so many Burrow Strikes.
And the AA actually hits the Earthshaker, but I think the Earthshaker should have enough HP to survive that. Yeah, apologize for cutting in there, because I actually on TeamSpeak you cut out, so I thought you were done, and then I heard you say more stuff. So yeah, it was
no big deal.
Part of my part there. Anyway, so yeah, Storm Spirit right now, looking at his items, he's got the bottom, he's got an Ogre, so he's going to be getting that BKB very soon. And now looking at the Tinker though, we have him. I think those two are actually no talismans instead of
no, they're
mantles.
They're mantles.
Oh,
they're mantles.
Oh,
yeah.
my, okay. Yeah, that doesn't help his HP a little bit, or not at all. And so he definitely needs to upgrade them into at least one of them to a null to actually get a bit more, give a bit more HP. But right now he's actually not the primary target being focused down. And like I said before, like they need all these items, and so M5 definitely has to choose their targets carefully. They know that Ehome is going to be playing the defensive game. They're going to farm up until they get these items up, and so they need to choose like who to keep down. Are they going to keep down the Tinker so that Tinker can't get his BOT and be having a global presence, or are they going to keep down the Earthshaker and the Sand King so that they don't get their blink daggers and get their ultis off, or are they going to keep down the Weaver so that the Weaver will never get any carry items, so the Slaughter will just rape everyone? It's a big debate, and there's a lot of choices to make, I think.
I think if I'm M5 there and in answering question, I think I would try to keep down the Tinker. I mean, if you're looking at the Weaver, yes, if you dedicate enough hero to him, if you just keep constantly staying his lane, then he's not going to have farm. If he goes to another lane, you just follow him. But I think as we see a little bit of engagement coming top, yeah, and looking at that, you can see that how difficult it is to keep down the Weaver. And it looks like the Chain Frost is coming in. Well, are we going to have A Blast? A Blast is going to hit the Venge, but Slaughter goes down in that exchange though. So yeah, going back to what I was saying though, yes, if you dedicate enough, you are definitely going to keep down the Weaver, but I don't think it's worth the time and effort. As we see M5 trying to find someone, he's going to find the Tinker. Tinker is definitely easier to kill, and again, going back to answer your question, Tinker should be the choice, because once Tinker gets his BOT, X Tinker playing style is looks like the engagement is still going. His haste rune might be running out. He has no more mana. He has enough mana for a short zip, but an Echo Slam, perfect chain stun from Ehome, takes down M5 God's Storm. So very well done. 2 kills for 1. That's definitely a good trade. But yeah, I think they should definitely keep down the Tinker, because he's very easy to gank, because he has no HP, like you pointed out earlier, not even no talismans, only boosts his speed. And once he does get the BOT finish, Ehome X's playing style with the Tinker, he basically goes in the lane with a Soul Ring build up, and he just spams all freaking day long. It doesn't matter if it's a Slaughter, whoever, if he finds someone on the map, he'll TP in and rearm until he has no mana and spam missile straight at you. So that's going to be very annoying for M5 to deal with, and probably they don't want to deal with that at all. So I think keeping that Tinker, he's very easy to gank hero. He's a lot easier to keep down compared to, let's say, a Weaver, for example. So I think that's what M5 should be doing, but we'll see if that's what they actually do.
Yeah, because just from an observation beforehand, that they weren't focusing down on the Tinker that much when it went into the ganking phase around like the 10-minute mark. So yeah, maybe they're now going to listen to you and hopefully gank the Tinker more often, as we see actually 3 heroes actually converging at mid right now, and Ehome sees this as well, as the Earthshaker is there to protect, and as we see the Storm zips in, and there's going to be Fisher. Actually, Fisher, I don't know, only stunned a few heroes, and there's the cold feet on him. Are they going to get a stun off? Yes, they do get the Tinker. So wow, an unstoppable spree on the A right now. So yeah, like you said, the Tinker just got ganked, and there was nothing the Earthshaker could do with just a single Fissure, and that was a very easy gank. But that's going to give a bit more farm to the Weaver and whoever's at bottom, which I would assume is a Sand King right now.
Yeah, that's the Sand King. If you look at Ehome X's farm right now, 1-4, 39-8 in terms of CS. He's not going to find his BOT unless he gets a level, lucky double kill or maybe a couple tower push. But now M5 is not stopping with the gank attempt. Shaker in trouble. We do have a teleportation coming in, and it looks like M5 M5 trying to get a solo kill, and that might get himself in trouble as he's out of mana. Can Shaker come in and do enough damage? Yes, a little bit of, and Sand King, well, the AAO is going to be dodged. Well done by 820 there. But yeah, you can see that Ehome X actually teleported in right in time to get a little bit of bonus go EXP from assist as well. So kind of working out very well for Ehome right now. I think that definitely was a little bit too aggressive a move for Stormsword. I think at this stage of the game, it's very, very hard to get any type of solo kill with a Stormsword unless you're absolutely stacked, which M5 God is not, he's not that stacked. So I think that was a little bit of over aggression. He definitely paid for it.
Yeah, and if you saw in the Kramer there, I think both of us were looking at the same thing, that the Earthshaker, even though the AA blast didn't hit him, he still got hit by the blast wave, and that wave actually brought him down to 97 HP. So if he had one more second to proc, then that would actually kill him. So it was a very close call, despite him dodging the ice blast.
Yeah, and now we see the Weaver at the top lane here. He's actually picked up Strength Treads, which is a sign that he just really, I want to get some HP. As we see a gank attempt, there's that A blast gonna hit a lot of nuke damage, but he got to time lapse. So I'm very unfortunate. The ganking party on Sentinel actually don't have any hard stuns. The freeze bite, you could freeze bite, and that's sort of a stun, but he could time lapse within the freeze bite. I actually want to see maybe the Crystal Maiden pick up higher level of his freeze bite. Generally, you don't want to do that, as it's not as strong as a spell as your other, as your Nova or Aura. But in this case, against the Weaver, you just want to keep that Weaver in place as long as possible. The Nova is going to have absolutely no effect against the Weaver. So if I was a Crystal Maiden player, I might consider level up the bite a little bit more. But already Crystal Maiden is a little bit of a, I mean, you can, as a Crystal Maiden, you can't get too much EXP. You don't get around to level up your spell. So we'll see how the skill distribution will be, and whether Crystal Maiden is going to level up that bite.
Yeah, and now looking at mid right now, there's a few more heroes gathering up from both sides right now, and I just want to talk about the Storm Spirit real quick. The Storm Spirit, of course, definitely needs that BKB at the beginning, so that he can actually survive when he zips in. But after that, I think an item of choice would actually be an Orchid in this case, because the Sheepsake, yes, it gives a fairly good disable, but I think most of the heroes on Scourge revolves around casting spells. So if you actually get a good silence off from that Orchid, it's actually going to disable like the Weaver and the Earthshaker very, very well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's just that it's a bit far away from that right now. He's got an Ogre Axe, he's got Strength Tread, so a little bit of HP to work with, but he's still very, very. He's got 1,100 gold in the bank, so about 17 more for that BKB. But before then, he's not going to be too effective. So he's still a little bit of mid push coming on, and I think they might be able to kill this tower. Sand King and Shaker in position to defend. Maybe they're trying to bait the Sentinel team to chase a little bit deeper. M5 knows better. They're going to just turn back. They are giving Slaughter the farm right now. Slaughter seems like he's going for a BKB. He does have Ogre Axe picked up, although we might see him just go into an Ogre Axe into a Blink Dagger, getting that Ogre Axe for a little bit of HP. It looks like we might see a little bit of attempt on that Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden very, very low. I think he Magic Wand just in time to survive that. Survive with 75 HP, and it's going to go back, and that should stop the Sentinel push already.
Yeah, and keep in mind that like during that time, the Slaughter and the Weaver has been farming, so that's basically the carries farming, and they have the Ford just continue AFK farm. As we see now, the Weaver actually TP'd bottom. He's got that whatever amplified damage on him, so he's got to be careful. And if they do transition into a gank on bottom, that Weaver definitely needs to be careful at. But I don't think they're going to go on him at the moment, though, because they have the A at mid, and they have the Storm Spirit. I think that's the Storm Spirit at top. Yeah, that's definitely Storm Spirit at top. So they're going to continue just tone down a bit and farm, as we see. And oh my god, what just happened here?
Just some swarm and some rocket action.
So yeah, the Slaughter and the Weaver right now is going at bottom. The Storm Spirit is going to continue farming a bit, and he's got 1,800 gold right now, so he's probably going to get his Mithril Hammer right about now. As we see, there was a small back south, so they might just give out this bottom tower for free, and that's going to give Ehome just a little bit more map control for them, because like right now all the towers for Ehome are still standing, so it's they're gonna have a bit of a gold advantage right now, and that's gonna help them towards the BOT, the Blink Dagger. As we see actually a smoke on the Sentinel team, and they're gonna make their way bottom, but I think the tower is about to go down in like just a few seconds, or it might already have gone down. Has it gone down already
No,
yet?
it's still up on the mini map, and looks like this Weaver gonna be in huge trouble. He senses that he's gonna Sakuchi out, but he's gonna take an amplified damage, and that's gonna reveal him. He needs a time lapse. He does, dodges it. Very well done. I don't even know where he is right now. He's a bot. He's still invisible for now. They don't see him. He's still Sakuchi. Sakuchi has a 6-second cooldown. I think 8-second cooldown or maybe a 6-second duration. He only spends 2 seconds without Sakuchi, and now they're going to focus on Sankey. Much easier target kill. He dodges. I think, no, he actually takes it right now, and now we see a Stormster zipping for that 1 kill, and I think Sankey still alive, and I think they're going to pick him off regardless, but that might keep his teammates out of trouble. Shaker grabs the kill on the Crystal Maiden, but now we see the Weaver is still in position. He's doing quite a bit of damage, but needs to get out right now. It's very, very low. Here comes the Tinker. Shaker dropping a huge ult, and now we see the Weaver TPing out. Killing spree, a triple kill goes to the Stormster, and that definitely is going to help him towards his BKB. The chase is not over yet. Tinker's still in trouble. Are we going to have Nova or Ice Vortex, anything like that? Here comes a Slardar, very, very quick with the sprint. Is he going to chase all the way under the tower, though? He's going for it. He's going for it. Are we going to have Elni teleportation coming in? Where's the crush? The crush is gonna hit. Yes, Tinker now in trouble. Now we see a teleportation coming in, but actually a laser mix and mish, and I think oh no, Slardar still went down to something. I don't even know. Oh, that's an earn damage, earn on him, and now we see the the Slardar TPing out. Very, very well done. Aggressive play from AA the player. Slardar the damn hero. I'm getting so confused between, yeah, because there's an AA and then there's another AA.
Yeah, that was definitely a great play by Slardar. Like, we were just questioning him. He was like, why did he just ditch him like that? But no, he actually ensured the kill with the jar. So that was a really great play. And the best part is he actually made it out alive in that fight as well. The Weaver kind of arrived a little bit late for the fight there, because the Weaver did TP out fairly early in the team battle and did not make his way towards bottom until it was already too late. So that was a bit of a bad play by Ehome, I would say.
Yeah, and I want to go back to earlier what you're saying about how Ehome is keeping up the towers. You got to keep in mind that Ehome right now is losing almost every single engagement. It just shows how good Ehome is. They're losing every engagement, yet they're still keeping up with farm somewhat. They're actually keeping up all the towers. Of course, the Scourgebot level 1 tower has gone down at this point, but when Doc was making that point, they are defending their towers very, very well. And now you can see that this Tinker is just being absolutely annoying. He's got the BOT somehow. I don't even know where he picked it up. Probably like just found it on the ground somewhere. But now he's going to go into Soul Ring, and once he does pick up the Soul Ring, he is just going to make these pushing attempts or ganking attempts absolutely difficult. Of course, Tinker's a global hero, so if he sees his Weaver being ganked, he has a choice to TP in and then offer a little bit of assist, and maybe even turn back with a kill. One thing I like to talk about Weaver's item set, he's going for the Lincoln Sphere, which generally is a pretty bad item because it does not give you enough damage. For 5k gold, gives you like 10 damage. It doesn't give you too much survivability to work with. But I think in this case it might be okay, considering that he's up against a lot of single target disable, especially with the amplified damage. If you have an amplified damage used on you, you don't want to just use the time lapse to kind of get rid of it. So the Lincoln Sphere is going to be good in that, but let's see if that's going to be actually a good choice. I think I would have gone Manta style to debuff the amp instead of the Lincolns, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah, because the Lincoln's is good in terms of just spelling a single target spells, which they do have a lot. But the other side of the argument is, of course, you said that there's a lot of single target spells that it's quite spammable, to be honest, on an M5. So they can easily just use one of them to disable it, which is in this case they'll use amplified damage to kind of just disable it, and then use the Vector Sphere to swap and then do the stun afterwards. And then the Lincoln Sphere is just basically rendered useless for a cheap 25 mana, really, with a 10-second cooldown.
Or if you want to be really anal about it, you could just drop an urn on the Weaver, and that just get rid of his Lincoln charge as well, and that just basically leave the Weaver with a 5k investment that does nothing except give you like 10 strength. So it's not looking too good right now. Sentinel still very persistent with that push, and here comes Tinker with that rocket spam, and we're gonna see these guys, they're gonna slowly lose HP, and there's nothing they can do about this. Tinker comes around. Yeah, you do see his Soul Ring right now. It looks like they are gonna lose a tower regardless. Here comes Fisher doing a little bit more damage, doing a little bit of harassment. Wow, big zip from the Stormster. He does have the BKB active. Meanwhile, Sankin gets a 3-man ult. Very, very well done. He's doing so much damage in the background. He might still pay for it with this live tower. goes down, but looks like we have 357 getting a double kill regardless. And now we have the Weaver coming in, doing a lot of damage. Looks like Dread's going to try to TP out. He's not going to make it out alive. And Weaver's still on cleanup duty. He's going for the Slaughter. I don't think he's going to catch up to the Slaughter, though. He's going. Where's the Swarm? Swarm's still on cooldown right now. There's a Crush. I don't think he's going to keep chasing. Yes, Slaughter should make it out alive. No, here comes the Swarm. Really? Where's the Swarm? Okay, he's earning himself. Swarm is going to hit, and that's going to provide sight. Are we going to have a Fissure or any type of slow to get him slowed down, though? I think he's going to be fine. Slaughter is just a little bit too quick for the Sentinel for the Scourge to chase up. In that team fight, you saw Ehome how strong the defending they were. The Fissure, the constant barrage of the missile, and that allowed enough disruption for the Sand King to come in with a huge ult. So very well played by Ehome there.
Yeah, the missiles definitely kind of weakens the M5 team, and that just sets them up for like a very cleanup duty, like you said, by the Weaver and the Sand King. So that's one of the problems when you're against the Weaver, is that if you're going to fight against a Weaver, you have to win, because there's no escape from a Weaver, basically. I mean, the Slaughter is an exception, the Sorcerer is an exception, but most of your team can't escape from the Weaver if you're gonna lose the team battle.
Yeah, and you definitely saw in that last team fight how the lack of single target stuns, actually, they have a lot of single target stuff, but not enough single target stuns, was that the Sand King just basically barrel strike 3 people and then went in. As we see, wow, Stormster zipping. Stormster, this Storm is not afraid to use a lot of his mana coming in, and they're actually going to get a tower denied. I suppose that's a good trade. But going back to my point, that the Sand King was able to barrel strike in and get just ultimate right under them, just because they don't have enough stuns. The Kofi is not really stun, a legit stun, because it takes too long to activate. The Storm was out there somewhere, and the Slaughter, all you have to really do is dodge the Slaughter and the CM, and you should be fine. So Sand King, timing his stuff right, he could really make the Sentinel pay with their lack of stunning. So I really like 357's play so far. He's been missing barrel strikes, but so far he's doing a pretty good job.
And now we're seeing the Tinker TPing top, and is possibly going to get a gank off, actually, because wait, never mind. There's the Sentinel here is already backed out, so it's very smart move by the Sentinel team. And so now Tinker, realizing that they're not going to be able to get a gank off, is probably going to be TPing somewhere else. But what I do like about X right now is that he's actually not taking too much farm. As you see, like for my pub days, I'm still playing pubs a lot, is that you see Tinker get the BLT, and they're just going to be pushing lanes left and right. And like that's the only thing they do, and they earn a lot of gold. They're going to get their sheep fairly fast, and they get like 700 CS by the end of the game. But they're going to take up so much farm from the carries, which in this case is the Weaver, that eventually they're just going to die because the Tinker's not effective enough. As we see, they're going around here right now, and that's the Vortex going on the Vengeful Spirit, and now the Weaver actually got caught in something. I think that was the Ice Blast, and now just using the time lapse to run out. Sand King is just using Burst Strike to get out, but still didn't make it out in time. And now that was the Fissure right there. Sorcerer's just going to zip away, and now Earthshaker is going to get picked off as well. So that's already 3 heroes down for the Scourge team, and they're going to be able to pick up a very easy top tower right now, and might even transition into a second tower if they so choose.
Yeah, I think they are going to get a second tower. Meanwhile, Ehome doing the correct thing here. He's saying that you're going to push our tower. We're going to threaten to push your mid tower. Meanwhile, Weaver also pushing at bot tower. Or at least he should be pushing at bot tower. So let's see if Ehome's going to try to defend or they're going to try to trade. I think defending at this point is not an option anymore. Yeah, they're losing too much ground. We do see God being forced to teleport back, trying to defend the mid a little bit. And yeah, Tinker still, again, just keep... Yeah, I think they're doing the right thing, which is force teleportation back. They are going to lose a tower regardless, but that allows them to do a little bit more damage and make these future tower attempts for the Scourge to be a lot easier. If you want to do a quick tower check, 4 down for the Scourge, and I think 3 down for the Sentinel. So despite Ehome keeping up their early tower, they now can't keep it up as well because they're still losing the kill. They're down by 21 hero kill right now. Weaver working on that tower. Is he going to get the last hit is a question. No, denied attempt, fail. Weaver gets the tower gold, and he's quite rich right now, actually.
Yeah, he's got 2,300 gold right now, and yeah, it's just amazing how that is working at the moment. And oh my god, my screen just kind of froze for a second there, but apparently it's still okay right now. I'm still alive. My computer's still alive right now, but that's the second time I just back into this game. But anyways, so yeah, he's got 2,300 gold right now. He said he was going for the Lincoln, so should be able to get that very, very soon. And looking at the A right now, he's got a Helmet Iron Will. Like the Chinese commentary actually has a focus on that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see
Veil of
what he's
Discord.
getting out of it. Oh right, yes, that's it. And that's gonna definitely help him quite a bit because they have all their spells are mostly magical. So that was a very good choice by the A to get that. And surprisingly though, I think this happened last game as well as we don't see a Mega on this team. Does the Lich have one?
It's so hard to find out whether these guys have mecha or not because in Dota 2 the aura team aura's base items don't show, and I think that's one of my biggest disappointment with Dota 2 animation. Sometimes I don't want to check their heroes to see if they have Django. In Dota 1, you don't even need to check. It's a very big animation. But now we don't know. So if you look at the Lich right now, yeah, they do have a mecha. I guess you could always tell by their status icon with the mecha icon. But yeah, they do have the mecha, and that's going to be fairly effective. I think a Veil of Discord is actually a very smart choice in this regard. It basically puts the Scourge in a position, well, I have amplified damage, I have Veil of Discord. Are you going to get Hood or are you going to get armor? In either case, I could, hugely nuke you in the other way. Whatever you get, I could nuke you on the other direction as well. Of course, the Sentinel has a lot of AoE nukes, the AA Blast, the Chain Frost, the Crystal Nova. So that Veil of Discord is actually going to buff up their magical damage by a lot. And also, they have Ice Vortex for the minus armor, minus magic resistance on the other team already. So when they pick up that Veil of Discord, we're going to see some high-flying, ice-blasting nuking coming around. And that's not going to be good for Ehome.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be very painful for them. As we see, Slaughter actually got his BKB as well, and also sitting at 1,400 gold at the moment. So that's going to mean he might be going for that Blink Daggers next for a bit more initiation with the Storm Spirit, or can get a Desolator for more damage. I think either way would be effective, but I personally prefer the Desolator on Slaughter though, because like there's already you already have the sprint, and if you're gonna just jump in there to use a blink dagger, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of your the whole purpose of your sprint, and so you're only going to be using sprint as a chasing tool after you blink, and either that for running away. But you just want to go balls deep, and I think sprint kind of just does that for you already, and especially since you got the Storm Spirit to set you up as the initiation, you can always run up there with the BKB.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. It's not a bad choice to save your sprint for the chase either. Because if you look at the Scourge, they do have a swap, so that could kind of throw. You don't want to basically walk in stun and then get your target swapped a while, and he does get the blink dagger. I do think this is a better choice. I mean, yes, the Desolator is going to be very, very good in terms of focusing down a single hero, but I think what the Sentinel is going for is those magical team fights. They want the Slaughter to blink in and stun at least 2 or 3, and that's going to set up the AO. That's going to set up the Nova. That's going to set up the Chain Frost. Yes, the damage from the Slaughter is very respectable, but I think with the Veil especially that they're trying to get right now, if they could get the stun on 2 or 3, I think the magical damage is going to do way more.
Yeah, I guess that you do make a good point there. And now Tinker actually, he clicked on the Mud Golem, so I can't really see what he was getting now. But what do you think his next item would be? Would you say it would be a Sheepstick?
I think Sheepstick is probably, well, it's just the best intelligence item you could get, but I think in this game, well, I always say Force Staff, which it's a good choice, but really I think Force Staff is a good choice. A lot of slow that they're up against, especially against again, the Slaughter could just blink in and on one of your targets, so you just might want to force staff themselves out. And Tinker also, again, is a very slow hero himself, so I think Force Staff might be a good choice. If he wants to go a little bit more late game oriented, he can go the Shivas and try to counteract the Slaughter that way. But again, the thing that they're dealing with M5 right now is both magical and both physical, so it's really difficult to get items to go against it. I was going to recommend, Ghost Scepter to kind of get rid of the AA Ice Blast debuff, or maybe work pretty good against the Slaughter, but really he has to worry about all the magical damage coming as well. So it's going to be difficult to buy items against the Sentinel team. So I think Force Staff is probably the safest and most effective option that he could go for.
Actually, I think I just had a quick glimpse of Tinker's items during when you were talking there. I think Tinker's actually got an Ogre Axe, so he might be going for the
BKB.
BKB,
Actually, strong choice.
Yeah, Yeah, I think that would be definitely be a strong choice because like they require the initiation of Storm Spirit and the Starter to kind of just jump in there to do it. And if Tinker can get the BKB on before everything is unleashed, then it's they're not going to be able to do anything to them. But unfortunately, though, I personally don't like it because Tinker really just should be staying back to do all these things anyways. So the tendency of him actually having to get to to get the BKB to protect himself is very very low. So I'm
No,
surprised that
I
he.
think I disagree with that. It's definitely a very safe choice, especially against a Storm Spirit and a Blink Dagger Slaughter. They're gonna be looking for that Tinker. I think that's Sentinel's priority in terms of picking him down. The Weaver, the Sand King, they're gonna be a little bit difficult. So we see Initiation against the Sand King and the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit goes down immediately. Do they have buyback though? No, keep going fine. 357, 357. It's gonna be fine. Storm Spirit's BKB runs out, and where is the Weaver? Weaver is focusing on the Lich right now. I don't think he's doing that much damage. Focusing on Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden goes down immediately, and now we have AoE goes down and Echo Slam doing so much damage. It looks like Ehome is winning team fight. Lich get a double kill, but Lich is being focused down as well. Weaver on a killing spree and a double kill. Tinker comes back. Tinker grabs a double kill as well. The kills are all going to Ehome. You can see a lot of buyback being used as well. A lot of teleportation going out. I think Ehome wasted 2 or 3 buyback in that team fight, but they ensured themselves in team fight, and they actually could go into the Roche area if they choose to do so, or they could use this very precious time and get a little bit more farm. Oh, Tinker pressuring the bot lane. He might actually try to go high ground.
Yeah, he definitely has the potential to do so because only the Lich is alive at the moment, and yeah, Crystal Maiden is going to be reviving, but I don't think they can actually. Oh, never mind. Tinker actually smartly backs out, but yeah, that definitely keeps the whole Sentinel pressured at the moment. And what I actually like about it right now is that like all the dead heroes actually have their dead bodies on the ground right now. So you kind of see where they're dead, and you can like do those things in other first-person shooting video games where you kind of teabag them.
Oh man, I don't think there's a Dota version of the teabag though. I'm sure the players will figure it out. Like I don't even want to. Yeah, okay. Sorry, you were talking about some ingenious strategical analysis.
Yeah, and now looking at the Weaver, actually, whoa, that is a radiance on him right now. So, wow, like I was surprised. Like, yeah, we haven't seen the Weaver for a while, and yeah, getting a radiance out of that, that's definitely gonna help him a lot. As you know that the M5 team has it doesn't have that much armor and HP, so it's gonna be very very hard for them to stay for a very prolonged team battle when the Weaver is gonna be just moving around left and right. So yeah, the three supports, if you will call it, the Lich, the AA, and the Crystal, I call them the Ice team. That they're gonna have a hard time in a team battle.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have a hard time. Weaver does also, I think, have 2k go in the bank. I think the smartest item choice now is going to go be a heart, because once you finish the heart, you basically ensure yourself to survive through whatever barrage spell that the enemy team could go throw at you. Also, you're going to be able to time lapse and go keep chasing the support. And generally when you're chasing, they're not going to turn around to get a hit on you. As we see now Sand King in trouble. He burrow strike trying to walk out, but he's now stunned, and there's a swap to try to save him, but that actually might put the Venge in a bad position as well. Both Venge and the Sand King goes down. Meanwhile, we have a zip in. Shaker is going to take an IA blast to the face, and he's going to go down. Good move by the M5 team so far. Tinker on the back line plus Weaver. I don't think they could do too much except trying to bait out the harass, trying to make them to not push their tower. Because what Ehome right now is afraid of losing the top racks. So the more time they could bide for their support to come back alive, the better chance they could have in terms of surviving in this game. So yeah, and it looks like the M5 did try to chase the Weaver, try to find the Tinker. I'm not too sure why they didn't try to push top, because they definitely did have like at least 25 seconds. They may have been able to take down the base tower if they really wanted it. So I'm not too sure what M5 was thinking there.
Actually, yeah, they were chasing the Weaver, but also they are fearing that the Tinker is going to be putting some pressure onto the bottom lane, which the Tinker is smartly doing at the moment. As a Tinker, you definitely have the time to like TP to a lane, quickly push down the wave, and then just back out and be in time to defend, and that's what he is doing right now. But putting quite a bit of pressure onto it. Like right now, the M5 team has just perfectly timed themselves so that they'll be able to reach the bottom wave without losing too much HP on the tower or any HP at all in this case.
Yeah, Veil of Discord is finished, and that's 25% more magical amplification. I think Ice Vortex gives you 30% magical amplification, so you're looking very, very heavy nuking damage. And now, considering that there's a Veil of Discord, Crystal Maiden's Nova is actually a very strong choice. I'm not sure whether she has the max bite. The next time you actually see the Crystal Maidens being clicked, to let me know if bites max. I'm a little bit quite curious. But looking at the Scourge team, they have very good farm in my opinion right now. Weaver's still alive, Tinker's still alive. Sure, they lost a couple more supports, but this at this point of the game, it's gonna be your Tinker and gonna be your Weaver winning the game for you. If Sand King and Shaker pick up a Blink Dagger, that's icing on the cake. But I think they could still win without it right now.
Yeah, as you see, Tinker right now just took an AA blast, but there was no follow up. Unfortunately, the Tinker is playing a very safe game with the BKB. That definitely ensures that he'll be able to get out at any situation. Hopefully that the Slaughter is not going to get a lucky bash during that teleport. Yeah, the Tinker should be literally invincible under the BKB. And one thing I think I'm pretty sure of it is that the Tinker's refresh actually allows him to keep the BKB at a constant 10. Is that right?
That's not. I think you do use your charges of the BKB, so it's a little bit broken if you keep a constant 10 seconds. I'm not 100% on that, but it sounds broken, so I don't think that's the case.
Well, yeah, because it just seems as if it's like a charge item. Yeah, it refreshes cooldown, right? But BKB is like a charge item where the charges kind of goes down after you use one of them. So yeah, it's I don't know how that thing will work, and it'll be good to see if they yeah, if we can actually get a quick look at it, but unfortunately we can't really do
hold
that.
Hold up. We have some crazy menu coming up. 18,000 gold being farmed on the Weaver, around 11,000 on the X Tinker. Now Slaughter actually 12,000. The Lich 13 and the Stormstrade almost 16. So you can see farm is again leaning on in favor of the M5 team. They are ahead by 12 kills as well. And that menu kind of shows a lot of the difference between Sentinel and Scourge Go. I really love these menus. It looks like Radiant is leading by 5,000 Go. Actually, not that much than I actually previously imagined. But I don't think the Sentinel team could go into the high ground as easily as they should, because they have the Storm Zip, they have the Blink, Slaughter, and the BKB. But it seems like this M5 team is a little bit hesitant in terms of going to high ground. Maybe they want to wait for Aegis first or something. But I'm surprised that M5 is taking no action. And every minute is precious, because you know that Weaver is going to be farming. You know that Tinker is going to be farming. And now BKB purchase on the Sand King. Again, following the footsteps of Tinker, he's going to skip the Blink Dagger altogether. He basically is going to turn his BKB, go in, and hopefully he doesn't get bashed. And he ults on 3 or 4 guys. And again, Crystal Maiden, Lich, AA, they are not tanking at all. If they take a Sand King ult, the team fight could get very, very ugly for the Sentinel.
Yeah, but one of the things that they could try to do to disrupt the Sand King from casting out under BKB is actually using the Chain Frost, because Chain Frost does have a mini stun if you cast that right on top of the on the hero. So hopefully that's going to be a case. If you see a gank attempt on the Weaver, but unfortunately no detection on him, so the Weaver's just going to be able to zip out, and they're going to just have to. Well, yeah, Sorcerer just pieces out angrily because he failed that gank attempt.
Yes, Manta Sao purchase. Very, very strong choice. Taking advantage again of the Sentinel lack of single target disables. You use amp damage on me, you use freeze bite on me, I'll just Manta out and there's nothing you could do afterwards. So yes, they have the slows. M5's got a lot of slows, but Weaver says, I don't care about the slow, I got Sakuchi. So I think Ehome's item choices are perfect in terms of countering M5. I'm surprised that no one has tried to get a pipe, or maybe again if they got a pipe, the lack of aura-ness of the Scourge heroes and the Dota 2 screen, I can't really tell, but I don't think they have enough gold to pick up the pipes yet. Shaker's got the Blink Dagger, Sand King's got the BKB. I think the items are really actually leaning in favor of the Ehome team, and that's very impressive considering they're down 12 kills, they're down a lot of towers as well. It's not looking as good for M5 actually.
Yeah, but I think one of the main reasons that they actually got a bit more gold advantage is because the Tinker is actually making some room to farm at far corners of the map, if you want to call it that. Because the M5 team can't really be as scattered as the Ehome team can be, because the Tinker can just go into one side of the map, realizing that he's not going to get ganked, quickly just rob one wave or two waves worth of creeps and then just keep TP back out. And those things are going to eventually add up because he's had the BOT for like a good 30 minutes now, right? So yeah, those creeps are definitely going to add up in terms of gold, and that's where the BKB is coming from, and that also gives a bit more room for the Weaver to farm
Yeah,
as well.
you still here? Okay, okay. I think you cut off for a bit. Yeah, it looks like Stormster does have a Hex finish, and that Hex is going to be crucial if he could grab the Weaver before he casts his Manta, before he could, go into Sakuchi and stuff like that. It really comes down to positioning. I say this in every one of my commentary, but more so in this game, because if you take a Crush, you are taking the AA Blast, you are taking the Chain Frost, you are taking every other spell on the team. So if you take a Crush, you lose a team fight, and that's really hard to go against. Looks like Scourge team may be going for the Roshan, and they do have the heroes to do it. They do have the amplified damage, so they could take on Roshan with ease. It just comes down to whether Scourge decide to do a Roshan Jack. You see that the hero difference, the team difference in gold is catching up. The Scourge team is catching up very, very close now. Weaver, again, checking on the farm. Weaver and the Tinker, so much gold. Weaver is actually at 20k gold. That's pretty ridiculous considering there's only 50 minutes into the game, and I'm not too sure what Weaver's gonna go after his Manta style. Heart now, I think really Heart now would be the strong choice, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, but also if he wants to do more damage, he can also go for the Bariza, which I think would be pretty devastating as well for the Sentinel team, because those supports are just gonna drop like flies in this case. And yeah, unfortunately, you didn't hear what I was saying back then because I cut off. Where did I leave off from last time? What I was saying?
I have no clue. You just
like, when did I cut out?
I don't know. I just heard you stop talking for a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I was saying that the Sentinel team is kind of getting jerked around because the Tinker's blinking everywhere and they're having the Weaver's literally ungankable, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they're getting a little bit behind in terms of gold, because they have to continue going as like a ball of 5 and they don't know where to go. It's very frustrating for them because they're having trouble pushing into the high ground and they have trouble ganking the mobile heroes like the Tinker and the Weaver, so they don't know exactly what to do right now. What do you think you would do in this case if you're M5?
Go all mid. Get the Roche and then go all mid. Balls to the walls. Go big or go home. Now I say that, but it's hard because Tinker could teleport to another lane and then push that lane and be like, oh, well, do we lose a tower now or do we push? Like, it's always that mindset. And of course, if you go Roche, there's going to be a Blink Dagger Shaker coming your way. That's also very curious. So yes, to answer your question for M5, what should I do? I don't know. And it seems like they don't know either. They're just kind of going around. They're trying to farm, and which is okay, but this Weaver is what? He's got 3,000 gold in the bank. I think he's going to save for buyback. That's very safe thing to do, and I think that's the thing he's going to end up doing. Tinker also getting some gold, and now the support on the Scourge team is actually effective. Like now we're going to see Crystal Maiden and the Chain Frost from the Lich becoming more and more ineffective as the game progresses. But the stuns, the AoE disables of the Scourge team is always going to be good no matter what stage of the game. So as this game drag on a little bit longer, you can see the Scourge hero actually will be more fit for the late game as well. So it's really, despite Sentinel again up for 12 kills, it's not looking that good for them.
Yeah, but now they're actually going to try to get a Roshan attempt, try to force a team fight, but they're also very hesitant about it. Like, they see one hero come in, and it's like, oh crap, we're bailing out right now, and now they're going to actually try into mid, but they're just camping out around the Roche area, and that's not a good thing because Tinker already has pushed into the high ground. That is not going to be good. That's going to force one TP back, and let's see who is that. That is the Stormspace. Stormspace is going to try to go and douse the BKB pop though, so there's nothing he could do about that, and this is the brilliance of getting the BKB in this case. That it's literally unstoppable. You have a Stormspace, you have a Slaughter, whoop-de-doo. You're just going to BKB and TP out. There's nothing you can do about it. And so yeah, now Sentinel just got jerked back into moving around again, and they're not going to be able to take Roche in this case.
And now slowly the Tinker has time to work on his Hex. He's got 2,000, was that 2 or 3? That's 3,000 go. He could pick up the Hex fairly soon if he chooses to do so, but again, saving for that buyback. Ehome says, you know what, we know we got this game late. No reason to risk anything. We'll take it slow and win the game maybe in 10 more minutes or so. So M5, they need to do something. They need to make a huge gamble. I don't know what the gamble might be. Maybe they try to take the high ground, maybe they take the Roche. But whatever they try to do, they are doing it in a very disadvantaged position because I think the Scourge team is now leading it with the items as well. So
Yeah, it's like a very difficult choice, and we've been at it for the past 5 minutes, and M5 doesn't know the answer either. They're just kind of moving it around. If they're waiting for an item, though, I think that could be the break that they're looking for. If they're waiting for one hero to farm the item that they need, maybe on the edge, or wait, is that yeah, actually that's the hex right there on the sorcery. Do you see that?
no, that was a
I think
long
that's
time ago. He's got the hex a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, my mistake then. I didn't see anything about that. But yeah, so now they're finally gonna do a Roshan attempt, and with the amplified damage, they can do it fairly fast. But the Scourge team does know this. So are they going to be able to make it in time? And no, I actually don't think they can make it in time. So this Roshan is actually gonna be close. And no, actually, Ehome is gonna just back out. So M5 actually has picked up Aegis. That's like half of what their plan is right now, going in balls deep. And so all they gotta do now is just push another push into the high ground, and hopefully they're not going to lose terribly in this exchange.
Yeah, they gotta do it quick. The Weaver's got almost 5k gold, and his gold is still climbing very rapidly. Looks like we have 3 or 4 coming in. There's a storm, huge zip, but no hex on the Weaver, and now the Weaver's still okay. Storm's there at half mana. Is he gonna give chase? Looks like he is gonna give chase. Where's the Scourge Hero? Scourge Hero coming in. There's a frail of Scourge Hero chasing in, and looks like everyone's being forced to TP out, but yet that's another more farm time for this Weaver. Weaver's up to 5k gold almost, Sanking up to almost 2k gold. Sanking with the BKB Vitality Booster, Arcane Boots. I think Sand King actually could pick up some very late game luxury as well. He may could go for Shivas, maybe get a Hex, or maybe again the safe choice would be saving for buyback. But right now you can see it's just not effective in terms of what M5 should do. I should really think with that Aegis, they should just go high crown. Like just try to win the game now, because you're not going to win this game 5 minutes later. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Also, it's surprising that M5 hasn't actually got a gem for the Weaver yet. They did get one early in the game and they lost it, but that shouldn't discourage them from buying another one, which I'm pretty sure the cooldown has been off for like a good 20 minutes now. So it's interesting that they're not like they're being playing very defensive in a way, and it's not gonna work out for them. They need that gem to just get a kill off the Weaver and kind of render him useless in a team battle, or at least make him a bit more defensive himself, so that they could actually try to win a team battle. But right now, they're ganking a Weaver without any gem or without any dust, so I really don't know what their plan is.
Yeah, I really have no idea what they're trying to do. They might have a gem, but again, it's difficult to tell because there's no animation to show the gem. Looks like we have another Mystic Staff purchase on the Storm Spirit, working towards that Shiva, but you could get an item, but the time that it takes for you to get the item, the Weaver's going to get an item that's more effective and stronger. And it looks like there's like a heart finish on that Weaver. Look at that, 3,200 HP, whole bunch of regen, whole bunch of armor to work with, because between Sakuchi and Time-Lapse, there's no way you're killing this big-ass ant. Like, the Sentinel guys are being sent home fishing by an ant. That's really not a good way to go out, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I like the way that you describe Weaver as an ant, because that's what the Chinese actually call the Weaver. But you know, the Weaver it's a Nerubian, so it's kind of like an undead spider, right?
No, he's an ant to me. Don't trip.
I know, but I know that's what Chinese call it as well. But yeah, I found that pretty funny. But okay, anyway, so yeah, the Weaver is just almost maxed out items right now. All she needs right now is just another item to in place for the TP and possibly get a BOT, and they'll be literally unstoppable. And to be honest though, I actually don't like the Storm Spirit getting another Mystic Staff that is going for the Shivas, because I personally think that the Orchid would do much better in terms of actually trying to disable the Earthshaker, which has no BKB at the moment to keep in mind. So I think it's actually going to be good if he can jump in there, zip or vortex one person, use Orchid on another, and ideally use the Sheepstick on another hero, and it kind of just buy enough time for the Slider to take 1 or 2 heroes out.
Yeah, I don't know though, because I'm not too sure whether he's gonna find the Shaker when he comes in, because I'm sure 820, which is the Shaker player here, it's gonna just hide, because he got the Blink Dagger. Generally, if you have the Blink Dagger, you're gonna be in a good enough position to hide from that Storm Spirit. And if you zip in and don't find that Shaker, it's like a 5K gold investment of who do I silence. If you silence the Tinker, he's going to BKB. If you silence the Weaver, he's going to BKB or Manta or get blocked by the Lincoln. So it's yeah, if they catch a Shaker, that's going to be good, but I don't know whether they're going to catch a Shaker. And it looks like we have a dual prong attack coming on from the top lane. And really, can the Scourge, they're forced to go back again if they have to go back now. We see the Stormster TPing back, and that's more time being delayed. You can see that Ehome slow rolling this so hard, and even though I'm a Ehome fanboy, I gotta say this is a pretty gay. BKB being popped, they could just TP out right now if they want to. No, they're gonna take the fight. God in trouble at half HP. He pops his BKB, but he needs to zip out right now. I'm not too sure whether Ehome want to take that fight. Weaver's still in the deep of thing. He needs to run out now. Still, he's going back in. Sanking comes in with a huge BKBO, and you can see Sanking got a kill on the Crystal Maiden. All the guys on the Sentinel being forced back, and because this fight was taken around this, in front of Sentinel base, the Sentinel could actually go for it. No, Slardar on the enemy base got a kill on the Vengeful Spirit, and that's going to force Ehome to TP back. They have no problem with that, though. They're going to just, TP back and keep farming. Trading a kill across the map, but really still in favor of the Sentinel. Excuse me, it's favor on the Scourge. As we see now, the Slardar in trouble. He's going to get completely chain stunned to death by this Shaker and this Tinker, and now it's looking extremely bad for M5.
Yeah, it seems that M5 is now on the losing side because they've been winning team fights, and then they kind of just stopped and kept their winnings, and then they never bothered fighting again. But now, like, you see that one exchange, and they're now losing team fights, and that's never a good thing because now Ehome is going to be able to be on the offensive. Like, Ehome was just like, oh, okay, I'm kind of bored I'm bored with this defensive thing, so I'm going to start pushing now, and let's see if you can defend M5. And now they're actually pushing the high ground, taking DPS on the mid tower, and I'm pretty sure the Earthshaker still has the ultimate.
He does not.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
But the Sand King does though. So that's going to be that's going to do a lot. As we see, a chicken goes on the that's 820, so Earthshaker, but they're not going to follow up on him though. So now this push is nullified, but still, like, that's going to give more room for the Weaver to farm.
Yep, Weaver says, you know what, can't push, go back to Rice, we Chinese, this is like our forte. And the Scourge, look at how stacked their Scourge here. Every one of the support heroes got a Bracer and a Vitality Booster. They're sitting around at least 15 to 2k HP. He's like, you know what, Veil of Discord, F that, Amplify Damage, F that, we'll just get so much HP to out-tank you. And I can't believe that's actually working. I think M5 definitely, I mean, this, of course, the game right now, it's really in favor of Ehome. Ehome was in a huge disadvantage, and M5 was not able to finish it. Ehome was able to weather the storm. I think, like, 25 minutes in, when the score was, like, 15 to 8 or something ridiculous, 15 to 6 or something, M5 should have just went for the high ground and tried to win it that way. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, but now, I mean, M5, maybe next time when this happens, they know that this is not the way to win against Ehome.
Yeah, definitely is. Especially when they have that hard to carry on the other team. The starter is not going to be able to carry this, and now it doesn't matter what the starter is getting. He might be going for Assault Cuirass, if not, he already has it. But yeah, like, Weaver just so stacked, they can't really do anything to it. The thing, like, the only thing that they're looking for right now is possibly just pick one of the heroes off the Weaver or the Sand King, or even the Earthshaker in this case, and the Tinker. And, like, if they can do that, then they might be able to go. As we see, they're actually trying to chase down on the Weaver at the moment, but the Weaver is just way too fast, so they're not going to be able to make it happen. But yeah, like, if they can actually pick one hero off and Ehome can't buy back from that, then they might be able to push into high ground and win. But right now, they're not succeeding at looking for that, and we've seen it in a few of our games now that is the case. They're like some of these European teams, they'll try to like find a loophole around, like, the unkillable team, and if they do manage to kill them once, and they might be able to push into high ground and win. That's the only thing they can do.
Yeah, but Ehome's not even allowing room for that. I think aside from Vengeful Spirit, every member of the Scourge team has buyback. More importantly, oh no, Shaker does not. Sand King does. I think Weaver does as well. Tinker probably does. So, I mean, even if you're going to kill one or two, the Scourge is going to just buy back. And because you're fighting in their base, considering that we're assuming that Sentinel is pushing, the reinforcement line for the Scourge team is going to be relatively short. They could join right back in a fight. And that's like a 8v3, 8v5 fight against the Sentinel in terms of raw numbers of lives. That's not looking good for Sentinel. It looks like we might see the end game smoke coming in. Scourge on the offensive now, and that's not gonna be pretty for the Sentinel because they're not expecting this at all. Storm zipping around, wasting a whole bunch of mana just to pick the invis room. Here comes the Tinker. Does he have a Hex is the question though. No, he does not. Blink Dagger goes out, and that was a very lucky dodge from M5 because if they caught anyone, they would the Ehome team would not hesitate to go up to high ground and just win the game right now. So very lucky dodge by the M5 team.
Yeah, now they're gonna just continue farming back. It's 62 minutes into the game right now, and Ehome is just like all the heroes are just stacked, and they're still very patient about this. They're gonna continue farming. Like, yeah, we're not gonna screw up, and just let the Weaver continue to farm. Which I would like to check his items at the moment, but. Let's look at Storm Spirit for now. Storm Spirit's got the Mystic Stab, but I guess that's the only thing he has right now. But looking at Slaughter now, I think that's what's that item on the bottom? Is that MKB?
I think that's a Reaver.
Oh.
Okay, so more strength, goody good. Yeah, more Reaver, more strength. So it doesn't matter. Black King bar.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. Like what I think I said this like 5 minutes ago. Whatever item you're gonna get right now, Scourge is going to get a better item with that same amount of time. Butterfly being Persians on the Weaver. And now they're going to just go into Roshan without even fear. And there's really, like, what is the Scourge? Sentinel's coming right now. Oh, we're going to see some team fight finally. And is Storm going to initiate? And who is he going to initiate? And how is the Scourge going to deal with it? That's the question. Weaver, Sand King picks up the Aegis. BKB being popped on the Slaughter. Initiates. And there's a swap out to save 357. 357 doesn't care because he has the Aegis. And he's going to respawn back. Shaker Gobson with a huge ult. Crystal Maiden doing a little bit of ult as well. Weaver quite low in HP. Time lapse back to get a lot more back. And here comes the huge Sand King. Oh, you can see the entire screen shaking it up. Weaver grabbing a double kill. Working on triple kill right now. Dread in trouble. Looks like Lich, yeah, unstoppable streak goes on the Weaver. Weaver picks up a triple kill, and now this is a mid Rax attempt from the Weaver, and there's absolutely nothing for M5. M5, by the way, has not been saving for buyback. I think Storm has saved for buyback, but I think that was the Sentinel's attempt. They bought a lot of items hovering in that secret shop. They were going for the win right then, but they didn't get it now, and that's the game.
Yeah, and it was definitely unfortunate that they came a little bit late on that. If they came just a bit earlier, they might have had a chance to catch him off guard. But they were already finished with the Roshan. They got the Aegis, and so it doesn't matter if they focus down on the Sand King there. He's got the Aegis, and it was going to come back right after for that battle. And now they're going to lose one Rax to mid. Look at how fast that Weaver is attacking at the moment. And now Sand King is going to be pushing on top as well. So the mid tower or the mid Rax is just being raised, and how the bottom one is going to get raised by Tinker, and top is getting raised by Sand King. So this is like a three-way attack right now, and now Storm Spirit coming to zip in, doing some damage, but unfortunately is going to have to back out, actually losing more HP than the Tinker did, and so he's going to continue healing. In the meanwhile, they're going to continue pushing on top and bottom, and this is basically a good game.
Yeah, one fell clean swoop by Ehome taking this game. I mean, the game has been decided, in my opinion, for the past 25 minutes or so. M5 refusing to push. Ehome says, okay, fine with us. We're going to keep farming. And now God might be in trouble. Here comes huge ults from the Shaker. Gonna chain stun the God to death, and now started trying to do whatever he can, but he's gonna pick off the Shaker, but he's gonna go down. The game should be called right now. Buyback from the Sand King, and now they're working on, who is this? The Crystal Maiden? Yes, that is the Crystal Maiden. Yeah, here comes the Sand King. Did Shaker just buy back and BOT in? Like how? Or did he not even die?
Yeah, I think he went down, or yeah, I'm pretty sure he went down.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it just doesn't show the buyback anymore. Maybe
it does.
Like,
there was so many messages coming out. GG's being called. The game's over. M5 being eliminated. They're going home with 35,000. A lot of money still. But Ehome's playing for that million right now.
Yeah. So I've actually quite surprised that Ehome has made it this far into the team, because personally I thought that Ehome was strong when they had Bernie and King Jaeon, but now it seems as if they're pretty strong without those two guys. So it's I don't know, man. Like they might be able to win this. They might, or at least they might make a fairly quick distance up the championship. And wow, look at how tanky that Weaver.
I know that Weaver's just at the tower for like a minute. It's like, yo, bro, come at me.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a hard. And actually, I tried it once in a pub game. As a special, I farmed too hard. I actually dove into a fountain against 5 heroes, and all 5 heroes died before I did.
Okay.
2 hearts, 2 hearts. It was really epic. But anyways, yeah. So that's
Hold up.
the
The
in-game
streak
analysis.
continues. Have not seen the Sentinel win a game yet. So for every game, the Dire has won. The Dire has won. Okay. So maybe that's a streak. I don't know.
I said in my last commentary that I saw a game where the Radiant has won,
Yeah.
but that's just a one game.
That's
Though.
one
So
game.
maybe
One game, man.
yeah. Okay. So maybe yeah. This is still part of the beta testing, right? So I guess they'll have to like nerf Scourge in like positional purposes, or maybe like move Roshan down a bit,
The thing
or
is,
something like
the
that.
thing is, it's supposedly the exact same as Dota 1, and Dota 1 like Scourge don't have that ridiculous, or maybe it's just coincidentally it's all the games that I cast have Scourge winning. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So, what's your thought about this other than like the part where
Now, I think I
M5
think we both talked about our dots for like 20 minutes already because it's been the same dot. M5 had the chance to win, they couldn't finish it. Some of the mistake I made was I think Storm was a little bit too baller, but mostly it's not their misplay, but I think it's Ehome. Their good play. They were defending very well. Tinker had very good item choices. He went for the BKB, which shocked us both, but ended up working extremely well. And Weaver, he got Lincoln's and then Manta, and both of us were like, you know what, I'm not too sure about this, but he made it work as well. Extremely good turtling play from Ehome. Definitely not, the fan favorite way to win the game, but they're winning it right now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I guess that's basically all I have. So you want to do the closing
Yeah, I
sentence?
guess that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this long, drawn-out, farming-intensive game. And as always, this is Doc and Luminous coming you guys with the commentary. Check us out on next time. Of course, you can always check Doc out on his YouTube channel. I will put a link in the description box. He's a very good commentator, so check him out. And that's it from us. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Luminous signing off to you guys.